Hi guys, welcome to Happy Trees with Marcia. If this is your first time tuning in, I'd like to invite you to grab your brushes and join in with me as we try painting something you might have around the house. Tea! So, let's get started. First, we're going to brew up some really nice, rich, dark tea. The best is for drinking on a nice rainy day. After we've added that, then we're going to go ahead and secure down the paper. Now, notice that this paper isn't quite perfect. I tore the corner when I was tearing it out of the notebook. But that's okay. It's going to give us an edge that we can use to practice and test the different colors on. It's a good reminder that not everything has to be perfect. This is just art. We're having fun. It's not about making something that's perfect, because if we wanted that, we'd just take a photo, wouldn't we? So let's add some tape. That'll secure it down to the table so that the paint won't make the paper work too much as we add the water. You shouldn't do this on a wooden table. If you do put plastic down first, sometimes I like to use maybe a rubber tote bin lid. That makes a nice thing to tape your paper to. You can also use a plastic table like I'm using here, or just a random board that you have around the house that maybe you don't use. And it's okay if it gets stained. By taping the paper down, it's going to help keep it so that you have nice crisp edges, and also so that it won't warp on you. Now we just added the tea to the little bin on the side on my palette, and added a little extra water to thin it out. So now I'm just testing out the different colors and seeing how it works. It's a little lighter than I would have liked, but that's okay. I've brewed this tea really rich so we can add a little bit more in and get the color that I want. That's the whole joy of this, is you can kind of make it what you want it to be. And since it's just a cup of tea, I'm only out, 10 cents. And it's a really easy way to make using things I have around the house. You can also use spices you might have in the cupboard. Turmeric is a really good one. Fruit juice is good for this, although you have to be careful because sometimes that can actually cause mold or other interesting things to grow on the paper, so you want to make sure you really dry it out well and keep it dry afterwards, otherwise it could turn into more of a scientific project than an art piece. Although I guess there's really not much of a difference between the two, is there? So right now we're just trying to figure out what we're going to do. I don't really know what I'm doing here. That's the joy of it, when you start a painting, you're creating a world, and in this world you have to make big decisions. So these decisions for me include what I'm going to be making. Obviously this is a segment called Happy Trees, so we're going to have to put a tree in there. But where's he going to go, and what's he going to do, and what friends are we going to give him? That's the excitement of this, isn't it? In general, trees are great for covering up problem areas. Make a mistake, throw a tree on top of it. Trees are so unique the way they're shaped that you can always make something work out wherever you want it to be. It's really just a nice little blessing there, isn't it? Now, trees are like all of us. They need friends. So I think we're going to add a bench in over here. That way maybe a friend will come along and hang out with our tree today. Now right now I'm just lightly sketching with the paint or the tea. I'm using it pretty much like it's a watercolor, testing it out, playing with it, seeing how it interacts with the paper. It's nice to start light because you can always darken it up as you go, and I'm just checking it out, seeing how it works. Sometimes paints will blend better than others. In this case with the tea, it doesn't really stand out too much on its own. It likes to blend with itself. And it can create almost an opaque type of impact. So we're just going to tread carefully because we don't want to hit any of the wet areas with the brush because it'll bleed pretty fast. Thankfully it's so light in nature, we're going to have to layer quite a few layers of the tea in order to get our final ink color on here. Now, it's important that you have a good contrast, light and dark against each other. If you do the whole thing all light, someone might glance at the paper and not see anything at all and walk on by. If you do it all dark, they're going to think that maybe it's just been painted black, and they won't look at it either, or take the time to really focus on it and see what you've got. Sometimes I like hiding things in paintings like that. But in general, you want to have a good contrast of light and dark together. That way it's, just like real life, where the bad times will make you appreciate the good. And it grabs people's attention. They see how you survive and how you interact with things when the going's a little tough. That's just like how it is when you've got the light and dark contrast on your paper. Now, we've got this tree here living in our picture. Let's get to know him a bit. We'll make him a story. I like to make a story in my head while I'm painting. It's a good way to kind of clear out anything else if you've got something weighing heavy on your heart that day. You just sit down and put some ink on a paper. And it doesn't have to be anything serious or anything that you give to anyone. It might be just something you make for a moment so that you can clear your mind and then throw it away at the end, and that's okay. You don't have to make a masterpiece every time. It's about practicing and playing and just generally enjoying yourself. So, as I'm working through this, let's figure out what this tree is like and who his friends are and what he likes to do. It is important to remember to continuously clean your brush as you go. The tea is a little bit corrosive on the brush bristles, so you want to rinse with regular water. There's nothing better than a nice clean brush at the end of the day, I think. You know it's clean, you can wipe it off on a paper towel and it doesn't leave a mark. That's just great. You know that you'll have a good brush to use the next time you go to paint. And of course, as you're brushing it, you get to, at the very end, just beat the devil out of that brush and dry it off, and that's always satisfying too. Now, these limbs, they just look pooped out, don't they? Let's give them some friends so that they can all be tired together. Maybe they've been out having a good day and working on their homework or studying up on their NCCER, so we're just going to add a lot more friends here and add more layers and layers of dark on top of it all. We're going to get a lot of paint into that brush. That way it'll really add in some extra contrast and we can get some good effects. I forgot to say, normally we run the colors across the bottom of the screen that you'll need for the day, but really the only color you're going to need is a cup of tea, so I guess brown. Brown's the color we need today. Now for the best part, when you're all done and the paint's dried, well, I kind of rushed it here, but that's okay. You get to peel that tape off, and it leaves nice, crisp edges that are just beautiful, I think. This is probably the best part of doing a painting like this, is peeling off that tape, seeing those nice even lines, and just feeling done, Anyway, thank you for joining me today. I hope you have a great day, and that you do get to sit down and do some painting. If you didn't paint with me today, that's okay. You can join me another day, or you can do it on your own. But I hope you have a great day, and thanks for tuning in.